Hey guys, how you doing? Toby here from Hadler Fitness. Alright, so today I really just wanted to crack into how people actually build a program, whether you're like a strength and conditioning coach, whether you're a yoga instructor, fucking whatever it is, whether you're not even a trainer building a program for yourself. People don't understand the fundamental principles of actual training, volume, frequency, intensity, and how to fit a program into lifestyle and how to actually make it personalized. People think if they just pick up the Rocks program or Arnold's program or anything like that, a bodybuilding programs from some fitness magazine that old mate's doing, that's like 6% body fat at like 110 kilos and is obviously supplementing like something that's probably not legal because he's a competitor on stage in Mr. Olympia or something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, these guys may be supplementing like steroids or whatever it may be, but obviously that's their lifestyle, and that doesn't go to say that they don't train hard and they don't put in their nutrition isn't on point, they don't know what they're doing, okay? What I'm trying to say here is naturals train differently than people that are on steroids, just because the sole factor that your growth hormone levels are different, testosterone levels are going to be different, and most of all, protein synthesis when you take steroids is elevated for like 4 to 6 days post-injection, and muscle protein synthesis for us natties is 36 to 48 hours. So given that we know this, frequency and intensity and volume have to be completely different, and adaptations to supplementing steroids and that kind of stuff is completely different in regards to how your muscles outgrow your ligaments, and all those different types of things have to be taken into account, okay? But I'm just going to cover off on what naturals have to do because I don't know anything about steroids and program and all that kind of stuff because I've personally never done it. And I've never trained anyone that's done it. So these are my recommendations and how I personally break a program down and how I believe how it should be done and how scientifically proven it is. This is how I believe it should be done. So I'm just giving my recommendations on how I get it done, and from studies I've reviewed from Eric Helms, like some of the top-notch hypertrophy experts, and then basically what I've found that's worked through conducting different phases of periodization, like concurrent, undulating, what else we got there, linear, and like what I've found suits the best lifestyle. So basically I break it down into 3 programs, okay? Legs, push, pull, upper body, lower body split, or a full body program based over full body is 3 days, upper body, lower body split is 4 days, and legs, push, pull will be 6 days, okay? And you can vary that and make the legs, push, pull 5 days a week. It can be 3 days on, 1 day off, and then another 3-day cycle, okay? So like, this is how you can fit programs into your lifestyle, because being natural, given that muscle protein synthesis is elevated, so you're anabolic. So you're anabolic basically for roughly 36, 48 hours post-exercise. So you want to be working out each muscle group roughly 2 to 3 times a week at an intensity of like, depending on whether you're following Propellian strength recommendations, whether you're doing like a strength phase or you want to do a hypertrophy phase, hypertrophy macro cycle, and then you'll be following different recommendations, okay? Because whether you're doing like a powerlifting block or a hypertrophy block, the recommendations are different. Eric Helms is 45 to 75 reps roughly every session. That's like, it's roughly maximum about 210 repetitions per week, each muscle group. And then frequency is how you break volume and intensity up and make it manageable. Generally, if you're working out each muscle group 2 to 3 times a week and you're doing a strength day, like a lighter day, and then a lighter day after that, so you're covering all rep ranges, the strength, hypertrophy, muscle endurance, basically you're going to get all the best adaptations for your fast twitch, slow twitch muscle fibers. So my breakdown is I follow a mixture of Propellians on strength day, and I follow Eric Helms' recommendations on hypertrophy days, and then I'll put my own spin on that through what I've learned through training various different clients and males and females. And males and females, completely different ballpark, but I'm just going to cover off on males here. Males looking to build their physique and really get the best body like they absolutely can naturally, okay? So here's my 8-year transformation. I feel the hate with this staring across the room. 18 in this picture at about 70 something kilograms, and then in this picture next to it I'm around the 100 kilogram mark. So So the results are quite good, but over an 8 year span, you might expect a little bit more. Obviously, I wasn't adherent through those whole 8 years. I was a lot of drinking and partying, enjoying myself. But the last 4 to 5 years have been relatively consistent and have been on point with following like macro cycles and like having volume intensity targets and breaking that up frequency and following these recommendations and just going to the gym and just basically getting it done and working around injuries and all that kind of stuff. So how you break the program down, okay? So you look at someone's physique. So posture is the first thing we look at. So with posture, kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. So we look at those three and then basically muscle imbalances, what muscles are really tonic, really tight, and what muscles are really elongated and really loose, okay? And then you look at the muscles that are tonic and tight, and then you prescribe the exercises for that. Generally, someone that has desk posture kyphosis, which is like at least 50% of Australia's population, like internally rotated shoulders, got really strong pushing motion in the chest and really weak upper traps and lower traps. Generally, there's heaps of muscle imbalances there, so I have to do a lot of bent over rows, a lot of back work, weighted pull-ups, and some mobility exercises to increase scapular retraction and that global flexion and global flexion and global extension throughout the whole posterior and anterior chain. So given all this, so you work through all rep ranges, you prescribe the hardest exercises first, so that's going to be compound exercises, squats, deadlift, bench press, shoulder press, leg press, so basically multi-joint movements, so pulling and pushing, so you got your shoulder press, you got your chest press, you got your bent over rows, and then for your legs, you got your deadlift, your squats, and then you can go into kind of like, so that's just weights, and you go into plyometric exercise like jump squats and jump lunges and all those kinds of cool things, but basically just covering on hypertrophy and strength movements and just basic human movements, working through all actual loading, so working through all planes of movement, so up, down, left, right, back, forward, you know what I mean? So you got to work out the body evenly and in the correct sense, and then this has to follow certain recommendations so people don't overreach and work too hard. So that's why you break it up with strength day, a light day, and then you can just do that for 4 weeks, have a week off, and then increase the weight, or you can decrease the weight, do more reps, or you can vary the intensity. So generally, if one goes up, one will go down. So if intensity goes up, volume will go down. If volume goes up, intensity will go down. That's just like one of those has to go up or down, and frequency is how you break those two up and make that manageable for your central nervous system and to stop people from overtraining. Because basically with adaptations in the central nervous system, there's only so much a person can handle. They only have so much work capacity, and then like accumulation of fatigue and all that kind of stuff is like, it's really bad, and overtraining is when it leads to like tennis elbow and overuse, shoulder impingements, hurt hips, like hurt lower back, burst discs, it's not good, okay? So you start off with compound exercises. So you, like for legs, for example, I'll do squats or deadlifts, and I'll swap those two each. So exercise rotation once a month. So you might move from free weights to dumbbells. You might move from a back squat to a front squat. So legs, for example, start off with squats. So I might do, I'll do barbell back squats, so just your basic squat. I'll do a certain amount of sets for that, at a certain intensity, and then after that I'll do deadlifts, depending on whether it's a strength or hypertrophy day, or I'll do stiff-legged deadlifts, which is like a hypertrophy exercise on the lighter side of legs, and then I'll do leg extension, leg curl, followed by calf raises. So compound exercises, then that moves into your compound exercises, deadlift, back squat, multi-joint exercises, basically. Then you move into your accessory work, which is going to be the higher repetitions around the 12 plus mark for 2 to 4 sets. So this will be like the leg extension, leg curl, bicep curls, tricep push down, all those kinds of exercises to work on your physique, kind of the areas that are lacking in muscle hypertrophy. So generically it will be the delts and the calf muscles are generally the ones that are lacking, and just these muscles that don't get much love, that don't get much stimulation during the compound exercise, is actually what actually fills out your physique and is what differentiates someone that's a power lifter to a bodybuilder, someone who does just like the big three, the squat, the deadlift, and the bench press, as opposed to a bodybuilder who is more so looking for physique and actual like looks. They're basically looking good to, they basically want to look good naked, okay? That's a goal of a bodybuilder. A powerlifter is for performance and basically to move a lot of weight, okay? So whatever your goal is, you differentiate between the two in your lifts. How you lift, the rep ranges you lift in, the intensity, the volume is all based on your goals and what you actually want to achieve. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. If you have any questions, shoot them below. There'll be heaps more videos like this, guys. All right, hope you enjoyed it.